So you're thinking about trying climbing. That's awesome. I know walking into a climbing gym for the first time can feel, well, a little intimidating. But I promise you, it's one of the most welcoming places you can be. This explainer is all about guiding you through those first crucial moments so you can walk in feeling confident and ready to go.
All right, first things first, let's just bust the biggest myth right now. You do not need a ton of upper body strength to start climbing. Seriously, most people get into it as adults. It's way more about technique and problem solving than it is about pure muscle. It's like a puzzle for your body, and that's why anyone can get into it.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll cover the different kinds of climbing you'll see. Then we'll talk about a really important warm-up, walk you through your very first climb, learn some tricks to climb smarter, not harder, and finally, I'll give you a simple plan for your first couple of weeks. Let's do this.
Okay, so you walk in the door. You're going to see a bunch of different walls. Some short, some really tall. It might look a little chaotic, but it's actually pretty simple. Let's break down the main types of climbing you'll probably start with.
First up is bouldering. Think of these as short, powerful puzzles. You're on walls that are only about 3 or 4 meters high, and instead of ropes, there are these huge, squishy mats underneath you called crash pads. It's a fantastic way to start because all you really need are some climbing shoes and you're good to go.
Then you've got top rope climbing. This is probably what you imagine when you think of climbing, right? The tall walls, the harnesses, the ropes. The key thing here is that the rope is already safely anchored at the very top of the wall. Your partner on the ground, we call them a belayer, is managing the rope for you. It's an incredibly safe way to get used to the height and just focus on the movement.
So, just to recap, bouldering is all about short, intense climbs with minimal gear. Top roping is more about endurance on the taller walls with a rope and harness for safety. Both are absolutely perfect for beginners. You might also see these things on the tall walls called auto belays. They're basically a robot belayer. It's a cool machine that takes in the rope as you climb up, and when you let go, it lowers you down to the ground nice and gently. They're a fantastic option if you're climbing solo.
Now, before you touch a single hold, we have to talk about warming up. I know, it's so tempting to just jump on the wall, but a proper warm-up is probably the single best thing you can do to have a good session. It helps prevent injury, and that dreaded flash pump, that's just a term for when your forearms get tired almost instantly.
Your warm-up can be super simple. Start with about 5 minutes of light cardio, jumping jacks, anything to get your blood flowing. Then, do some gentle movements like arm circles, wrist rolls, and hip circles. After that, get on the wall, but stay low to the ground and just move sideways on the big, easy holds. We call that traversing. And while you do that, try to place your feet silently on the holds. It's a great drill for learning control from the very beginning. Okay, you're warmed up, you've got your shoes on, and it's time for the best part, your first climb. Climbs are called routes or problems, and they're set up like a path of holds that leads you to the top.
Don't be shy. The easiest way to start is to just ask the staff what the easiest climbs are. They'll point you in the right direction. In bouldering, you'll be looking for a grade called V0 or V1. For top roping, it's usually around 5.5 to 5.8. A lot of gyms also just color code their routes, so you might just follow all the green holds, for example, all the way to the top.
Now, these 4 things right here will change everything. 1. Your legs are way stronger than your arms, so focus on pushing with your feet, not just pulling with your arms. 2. Keep your arms straight whenever you can. Think of a sloth hanging from a branch. It saves a ton of energy. 3. Try to keep your hips close to the wall. And 4, the big one, always look for where to put your feet before you move your hands.
A huge part of climbing is learning to be efficient and safe. And listen, you are going to fall. Everybody falls. It's all part of the process. So let's talk about how to do that safely and how to avoid a few common mistakes.
When you're bouldering, falling is just part of the game. So here's how to do it right. First, always glance down to make sure no one's underneath you. When you fall, land on your feet with your knees bent nice and deep, and then just let your body roll backward onto the mat. And the most important rule here, never, ever try to catch yourself with your arms. Let the big, soft mats do their job.
All right, let's talk about the #1 beginner mistake I see, the death grip. It's that natural instinct to hold on for dear life, but it will absolutely burn out your forearms in seconds. The fix is to consciously try to relax your hands. Trust that your feet are doing most of the work. You only need to use just enough grip strength to stay on the wall and no more. A little trick is to find a good hold, hang from it with a straight arm, and give your other hand a little shake. It helps get the blood flowing again and lets you rest.
The second classic mistake is getting tunnel vision on your hands. It is so easy to forget that you have these 2 incredibly powerful tools, your legs, that are meant to drive you up the wall.
So here's your new mantra. Look down. Before you reach for that next handhold, just pause for a second and ask yourself, can I get my feet up to a better spot first? 9 times out of 10, the answer is yes, and that will make the next move with your hands feel 10 times easier.
Mistake number 3 is rushing. Scrambling up the wall might feel fast, but it's actually really inefficient. It leads to sloppy footwork, bad body positioning, and you'll end up falling off holds that you could have easily used if you'd just taken your time.
So the fix is simple. Just slow down. Climb with intention. Place each hand and foot with purpose. Remember that quiet feet drill from the warm-up? That's exactly what we're talking about here. Deliberate, controlled movement is efficient movement.
Okay, so you've had your first session and you're hooked. What's next? Well, the key to getting better is all about consistency, not intensity. So here's a simple, stress-free plan to get you started.
For your first couple of weeks, just aim to climb 2 or maybe 3 times a week. Make sure you get a rest day in between sessions so your muscles can recover. And your goal should be to climb a lot of easy routes, not just a few hard ones. This is how you build good technique. Oh, and stay away from advanced training stuff like fingerboards. The main goal right now is just to have fun and explore how you can move.
And really, that's it. You now know the difference between the main types of climbing, how to warm up, the core principles of movement, how to fall safely, and the common mistakes to look out for. You are officially ready to have an amazing first time at the gym.
So go find your local gym and give it a shot. The only thing left to do is experience it for yourself. And hey, I'd love to hear how it goes. Drop a comment and let me know what you're most excited to experience during your first climb. Have fun out there.